Okay, well, here we go. We're back again with the Let's Talk, the Better Black Life podcast. Brother Clarence, the coach, Brother Jarvis, and Sensei here. We're gonna talk about a real touchy subject: how to evaluate how to evaluate women, and the dangers of not evaluating a woman properly. So don't go away. We'll be right. All right, we back. Brother Jarvis. Brother Jarvis, you with us?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today we want to talk about the dangers of not evaluating a woman properly that's in your life. Okay? So, with that being said, let me read you something, an excerpt from a book I'm writing. And we can kind of go into it a little further. All right, sexual market value versus long-term relationship value. Women mistakenly confuse sexual market value versus long-term relationship value, meaning when they will think because they got a lot of men that's wanting to sleep with them they can from that negotiate a relationship out of that. And depending on the type of man they're dealing with, they may be able to, but it won't be a kind of relationship that'll be beneficial for everyone. Typically, those type of relationships don't work, but that's what's meant by that. Long-term relationship value is the level at which a man would consider a lifelong monogamous commitment. However, many women are looking for one total score when they should be looking to make decisions about which men to deal with in relationships. Or in other words, instead of considering everything about the man, they're pretty much considering only his access to resources. Okay, once he has access, once she figures out he has access to resources, that typically will just be, well, she'll say, or maybe he'll be the type of person that she wants. Like, in other words, usually the thug type dude, right? Especially when they're younger, they like that thug type energy. It's all good. That's what you want. But that will be the single biggest factor in how they determine whether they want to be in a relationship with somebody. An example of this is how a woman will have a particular preference for bad boys because of the misunderstanding of the relationships of these two values, the two values of sexual market value versus the long-term relationship value. The more sexual market value, the more the consideration to commit by a man short term. The more long-term relationship value, the more likely he will be willing to commit long-term. The closer these two values, the higher the probability the man will commit indefinitely, meaning the higher either value is separately and the higher they are together, the higher the chances of him considering a long-term relationship. If such market value is equal to long-term relationship value, then a relationship is possible. If sexual market value is greater than the long-term relationship value, then fools jump in. Meaning, if the sexual market value is greater than the long-term relationship value, then most men would just try to have sex once or twice and then move on without trying to engage in a long-term relationship. Unless, like I said, some guys that call them beta males, they will try to make a relationship anyway, even though they can see the character and other other ostensible things about the woman are all bad. But because of her looks, they'll still try to create a long-term relationship with this person. And of course, that'll end in disaster, as always. If the long-term relationship value is greater than the sexual market value, then a relationship is probably not probable. Those values need to be high and close for a relationship to be probable. So we know that most men make long-range decisions based on sexual market value alone. That's bad. This is where we are going wrong. Long-term relationship value is a major consideration in deciding on entering into a long-term relationship. What makes sexual market value high? So we got that question. We can go into that later. And can sexual market value be increased? So let's say somebody's up in age, or their sexual market value has been dinged with a bunch of children, or bad credit, or mental instability, or whatever, or physical appearance not that striking. Is there anything that can be done about that? What are the factors that make up sexual market value? Okay, so I put a little list together: hair, fragrance, teeth, skin, eyes, clothes, weight, physical appearance, personality, seductive qualities, generosity, submissiveness, cooperativeness, traditional value system, etc. What makes long-term relationship value high? What are some factors that influence long-term relationship value? Example: cooking, cleaning, domestic abilities, basic compassion, reasonable submission, understanding the man's goals in life, be willing to sacrifice with you to obtain said goals, understands self-maintenance is a must to ensure a stable relationship, and desirability. Of course, that means that if you keep yourself together, that's lowering the chances of him having to cheat to achieve his sexual desires or goals. Has the same or similar family plan. That means you have to on the same page. You want 2 children, she wants 2 children. Similar beliefs on child rearing and discipline. This is where a lot of people go wrong, because one person is for corporal punishment, the other person is not for corporal punishment, and then you have conflict, and that's, of course, conflict is what destroys children. Anyway, and then a general positive outlook. Of course, you want somebody who has they're generally positive. I mean, everybody gets down every once in a while, but they're generally positive, etc. Now, here is the big question, Brother Jarvis. If this evaluation is done wrong, if you can use all these factors to try to evaluate whether you and categorize this person and see where they belong in your life. Are they a person that's going to be here the short term? Are they going to be here for the long term? Or are they a project? Are they just a fly by night? What's going on? So if this evaluation is done wrong, you take somebody who's strictly should be for the short term and try to make them into a long term situation, who has the most at risk? And then who has the most to gain? The problem is for you, most men, is that most of the time you enter into these long-term relationships based on only sexual market value. Then when you get burned, we get burned, you don't realize your vulnerability to your assets being seized or split in half by someone you did not take the time to evaluate properly. All right, brother, now that being said, the question is, how do we evaluate women properly so that we don't get burned up and put the wrong woman in the wrong position? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. You know,
for example, let me say it like this. Let me throw it like this real quick. You don't want to put your star running back on the defensive line. You need your running back on the on the offense. So we need, because if you put him on the defensive line, he was the best running back in college. He's not going to do nothing on the defensive line, right? Lining up with linebackers, right? That's my point. Okay. Sorry, brother.
Well, like I said, making a mistake on evaluating a woman wrong, which I believe we all do, because most of the times they show you one thing, like 3-Car Molly, and you get something else.
Correct.
So, but it's damn near impossible. When I don't know who you are, how can I get to know you in 3 months, 6 months, a year? It's going to take longer than that, because you can get an actress who can, as you always say, brother, who can give you just what you want. But after a while, the real her is going to come out. The question is, when is the real her going to come out? And what's in her?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to dig to get that real her. And what you're digging for, you might not want.
I think that's the problem, brother. I think we so scared that we're gonna find something ugly if we flip that rock over. We don't want to look. We just won't flip it over.
Well, nobody. You're gonna have to know. I guess on both parties, everybody gives you, when you first meet somebody, their best foot forward. Everybody gives you that.
Right.
Okay. But misevaluating a woman, for a man it could affect, and most of the time it does. It affects the rest of your life.
Okay, how, brother?
I done had this child by this woman, and I come to find out she don't love me.
Well,
she love her. She married me for her reasons. I was a good provider, because although that's my position, but that's not only what I do for you. But she made me a provider, and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't care about how I feel, my feelings, nothing like that.
Right.
Matter of fact, you just throw that part away.
Right.
How I feel about it, you just throw that away. And the only thing you want, how much money you make. The baby need this, the baby need that. When a woman call her and baby this, baby that, baby this, baby that, wait a minute. You do know I come before the baby. But that doesn't take away from the baby. Because you have to, as a woman, you got to put everything, in order, in a category.
Right.
But you just throwing me away.
Right.
The only thing you see is the baby. You and the baby.
Right.
And then it's you, your mama, and the baby. Right. Nobody cares about me. I come home, ain't nothing being cooked. I don't smell nothing. Oof. You and your mama went out and got something to eat. And I'm looking around like, ain't nothing on it. And then you wonder why, you know what? And you go get you some McDonald's. Who wants to eat McDonald's?
Go get yourself something to eat.
Yeah, I done worked hard all day, and I'm coming home, and ain't nothing been cooked. You and your mama been out shopping all day, doing nothing.
Doing nothing, yeah.
So, I mean, and you wondering like, where did I go wrong? I didn't see this when we was dating. You didn't do this. But she'll say the same thing, too. Some of them. Well, when we was dating, you had something for me all the time, this, that, and the other, Yeah, that was to woo you, but, Brother Clarence, there's something called the honeymoon stage. Right. And after a while, the honeymoon stage is over with. I got a time. I put a time on it as a variable with real love. Even if the love is real, the honeymoon state lasts a year. It may go 2 years, but it don't even go that long. But after that year, now it's time to get to know this first, But it takes way longer than a year to really get to know somebody. I mean, I heard a minister say it's going to take 10 years. Once you've been with somebody for 10 years, now the marriage begins.
Right.
Because after 10 years, all the BS is out.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you got now.
Yeah.
Now you know what you got. After 10 years, Cause, in 10 years, y'all done buried some folks together. Y'all done been through something.
Yeah.
So if it's real, when y'all go through something, it brings y'all closer. If it ain't real, y'all go through something, her mama died, and y'all just argue the whole way through. Cause it ain't real.
Yeah.
Cause when tragedy hit, that's when y'all get closer. But you didn't find out when tragedy hit, y'all just get further and further apart. Well, it ain't real.
Well, Brother Jarvis.
Because you miss. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Well, not to cut you off, but I want us to, before because you making some good points, but I want to address first before we get that deep into it, just the dangers of like why does it make a difference on how we evaluate these women? Why? Because we got young guys that's listening to us, and we want them to know why. See, they don't understand. The ramifications of evaluating a woman wrong. See, like they're thinking because in today's society, women don't want you to know what you all got at risk, or they want you to feel like, hey, that's what I'm supposed to risk everything with a woman. You're supposed to put everything on the line, and a lot of times they can't. They being women, they don't understand why men are so guarded nowadays, because who wants to risk everything on one little relationship? But these women want you to risk everything. They feel like, hey, you're supposed to put everything on the line. So I'm trying to get it understanding for these young guys. What is it? Why is it so dangerous to pick the wrong woman and have her in your life?
Listen.
From somebody with massive experience.
Yes, sir. Nobody. And I'm telling you, nobody wants to be in court defending yourself over things you built. Wow. And you got somebody, your counterpart.
That's heavy.
Or somebody, although they had a child for you, wants to take everything you built and would rather throw it away to spite you than for y'all to split it because you angry because you didn't give her what she felt she deserved. Wow. That's why it's so important with these young men. And you know how many horror stories there are out there? Oh. Who don't have a horror story?
Yes.
I mean, you know how many yes. Nobody wants to go to court. Yes. I got to defend what I built.
Yes.
She don't even want it, Judge. She don't even want
it. Ouch, man. I'm laughing to cover up the pain, brother.
Throw it away.
Yeah.
She'd rather throw it away than you get half of it.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
It is. My idea built it, but in her mind, see, this is what killed me with women. I helped you. No, you didn't. Juanita Jordan didn't dribble one time. She didn't make one dunk at that basket. Not one.
Well,
but you won't have?
I'm sure their argument is, if I wasn't here to maintain this household and with these children, then you wouldn't have been able to have your mind free to be able to be out there dunking basketballs. So you had to know that your children were safe so that you could do that. So that has like they say, everything has a value. So they feel like that has a monetary value. Like, now, I'm agreeing with you. I do think it has a value, but half, that's asking a lot. That's asking a lot. So
yeah.
But
I mean, I was taught as a man, I don't want half of yours. If you built the company and it's your company, and if you had a daycare, it's your daycare. You built it. Yeah. Either your clientele, and we get a divorce. I don't want half of that. You know why? I didn't build that. You built that. Well, I didn't do that.
I guess they feel like, that's the way you should look at it. Like, you shouldn't take half of mine because you a man. Some kind of way,
right?
You shouldn't ask for what I'm bringing to the table, but because you're a man.
Right.
But I'm equal, but I'm not equal, but I'm equal. But so, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So it gets so I don't want to say confusing, but it gets so convoluted, and I think that many of these young guys don't realize. Because see, when you commit to somebody who you commit to the wrong person at the wrong time, when you in your 20s, that's the wrong time to commit to the wrong person. Well, it's the wrong time to commit to the wrong person anytime, but it's really wrong because see, you in your 20s, you don't see 10 years down the line where your life is going to just explode with, positivity. You're making more money. You're more respected. You're more grounded. You can see where you're going. You kind of got your vision is clear for how to get to where you want to go, and you're willing to work hard. You can see the sacrifices you need to make, and so you can't see 10 years, 20 years down the line. This is the kind of asset you're going to put together. And a woman can walk in the house one day and say, hey, you know what? I was at the grocery store. I met somebody, and this is the love of my life. And I want to I want to walk away. By the way, I'm taking the kids and half of all your assets to go lay up with this dude. And I'm not going to marry him, so you're going to have to pay me alimony. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, all good moves. It's all good moves.
Yeah.
I can't complain. I mean, we just talking about the strategy of it. I mean, it's all good moves. But I'm saying,
right.
These are just the legal things that could happen to you. You could be paying alimony. You could be paying palimony, which is
right.
alimony, but you have alimony, what you pay to a woman that you've been married to. Palimony is something you may have to pay to somebody you weren't even married to this person. You were just living with them, or you were just going out with them over an extended period of time. If you're dating single mothers, you may have to, and you've been dating a single mother long enough where you've been helping her financially to raise her children, you may have to continue to put money in her pocket. That's one of the dangers of dating single mothers. They have that ability. Whether they would exercise that on you or not is irrelevant. The point is they have that ability open to them. You can't go to you cannot take one woman to court and say, hey, judge, I was going out with this woman for 3 years. I itemized everything because I got Quicken. I itemized everything I spent on her. I spent exactly $27,000 on this girl. I need that money back.
Yeah.
You can't do it, right? They'll laugh you out of the court. But a woman can come in and say, I want half of what he's making now because he helped me do this or that. So, hold on. You good, Brother Jarvis? I'll come back to you. I don't know. Maybe you getting you something to eat or something.
She did this yesterday.
Okay. All right. Anyway, let me finish what I was saying. So, I got Brother Jarvis on hold. So anyway, I feel like you have to watch out for all of these different things when you dealing with these women, and picking the wrong woman can definitely destroy your life, meaning your financial life, your credit, your reputation. I mean, they could just destroy everything and have you just down and out, have you and get spiraling down in depression, and just have you not able to get the kind of car you want, not to get the kind of house you want, not have the kind of lifestyle you want. It's just, and then keep your children away from you. It's bad. Now, I'm not saying all women are bad. So we're not saying all women are bad. We taking the worst case scenario and working from there. So let me check in on Brother Jarvis, see if he's able to join back in with us. I don't know if he was doing something. Brother Jarvis, you there?
Yes, sir. Excuse me, brother.
Okay, yes, sir. All right, brother. Yeah, but I wanted you to be able to kind of like let these young cats know how dangerous it is picking a person that is. See, okay, well, let me do it this way. Let me break it down this way. Women have categories. Women have categories that, and then from based on those categories, you can insert them into your life where they're supposed to go. What we used to say, get in where you fit in, right? You can insert them where they go, right? For example, you see, sometimes you have a fine woman that's a relative, but you got to put her in the category of a relative. She's a relative. You can't, even though she's just by marriage a relative, you got to say to yourself, hey, this person is off limits because she's a relative. She's too close to my family.
Right.
I can't get involved with somebody like that, right?
Right.
And then, of course, another category is underage. They're underage. That's just, even though somebody is built like a woman, moves like a woman, they usually don't talk like a woman. They usually talk like a little kid, but they're so big, they just built like a woman early, and they've dealt with enough men to know what to say to men. Sounds like they're grown, but they're really not grown. They're 16 or 17 years old. You got to know they're underage, and you cannot deal with somebody underage. Once you come into the knowledge of the fact that this person is underage, you got to release them. You can't be dealing with nobody under no circumstances, short term or long term, when they're underage. Right? I remember I was working in West LA, and I used to go to this school all the time. I had to do work for the school, and so anyway, I would go into a school, and the assistant principal had to take me to the location where I would do most of my work. So this guy used to take me there for years. We used to meet up. He'd take me down there, right? As soon as I got there, I'd ask for him. And we would just talk, while we was there. He was a good dude, brother, good brother, man. I'm not going to say the high school he was at, but it was a very upscale high school. So anyway, one day I go in there and I ask for him, and they say, oh, he ain't here no more. I said, oh, he got promoted? They go, no, he got fired. I was like, oh, okay. So they got this other dude to come, another brother to come. And so when we got outside, when we got alone, I was asking him, I said, hey, what happened to so-and-so? He said, oh, man, he got caught up with a couple of these young girls, man. He said they built like women, but they're not women. And what they always do, they always start talking. And that's how the people get caught. They eventually tell somebody, and that's how they eventually get caught. But I'm saying that to say, the dude lost his job, pension, all that, chasing some little young girl with a big butt, Because the point is, he didn't put this girl in the right category and deal with her from that perspective. Okay, she's underage, so from that, I got to put her out of my wheelhouse because she don't even have a chance right now. She's not, but because he wasn't thinking properly, he was thinking, even though she's underage, she's big enough like a woman. She can handle this like a woman. I'm going to just give it to her like a woman. And because of her loyalty to me, she ain't going to say nothing. And that's where we're going wrong as well. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So my thing is, why does it matter that you evaluate these women properly? Why does it matter?
I mean, it don't get as a better example than what you just said. The man lost his job, he lost his pension, he lost everything, chased after an underage girl who had the body of a woman. He lost everything because she started talking. You know, that right there. Like I said, nobody wants to go to court and have to fight over materials or things that you built. You built it. She really don't want it. Women, even after some possessions, you know, she don't care about, if it's a business, she don't want the business, she wants the money. If it's a house, she don't want the house, she wants the money. If it's a car, she don't want the car, she wants the money. Because they put more value in the paper than they did the thing.
Right.
Or what you believe in.
Right.
You know, they don't care about that. You know, because, and then you look at it like, damn, did you ever really love me? You couldn't have treated me like this. You know,
right.
You love you.
Right.
You love you. So, like I said, misevaluating, you know, that can change your whole life. Sometimes forever.
How?
You know?
How?
You know, I mean, it's a terrible thing to struggle and you wind up, you struggled, but you bought a house and you and her and you bought it with motivation because you had a family coming. And then when you go to court, so to make it easy on the courts, what they want to do, they want to liquidate everything because it's easier to divide the money up. You can't divide a house in half. So what the court will say, and all the lawyers will say, sell the house and y'all split the money.
Right.
Yeah, you do that, but now your credit is shot. Now you find out the houses that went up. Now you can't get another house.
Right.
So now you right back where you started from. Now that you're in your mid-30s or your 40s or wherever, you right back where you started from when you was in your 20s. Now you're behind 20 years now. Now you got to start all over in debt because now you got child support.
Right.
You know, so when you say how? Oh man, you're 40 years old, but you got the check of a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Because after child support, if you got a check of a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Because they're taking more than half of that.
Yeah.
Not half, more than half.
Right.
Because you got to maintain her lifestyle. It don't matter if she's working. It doesn't matter.
Right.
If she can say she's bringing in, she's netting $3,000, and you netting $3,000, they still make you pay $2,000.
Wow.
Because she got the children.
Wow. Yeah.
You're like, well, yeah, well, I got them over the weekend. Isn't that half time, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? She got them Monday through Thursday, and they're in school. So really, in reality, do I got them more than she got them?
Right.
But nobody looks at that. So when you say how, I mean, man, sometimes crazy. And that really impacts a man. And then, how? Then you got women out there who look at you and say, well, nobody's going to date you because you got child support and alimony. And it's like, wow, I lost value because I'm taking care of my children?
Yeah.
Is that even fair?
Yeah.
I lost value?
Yeah.
Then you got women who are saying, well, you got over one child, so I would never date you. What?
Yeah.
Well, I only got one. Or I only got two. Because you got four, I would never date you. What?
Right.
I mean, man, how does it affect you? It affects you all the way around.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, because you misvalued this woman who you thought was all right. Even all right, it's like, you really know what you're getting? You don't know what you're getting until I want to say tragedy hit. Sometimes you still don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I would say if you really want to know what you get, there's a proper way of courtship. There are certain questions that you need to ask.
Well, that's
and
what
hopefully they will answer.
That's what
hopefully
I'm
they
saying.
will answer those questions truthfully.
That's what I'm.
Even after they answer those questions, that needs to be checked out.
That's
so there is something called courtship.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out how can we get on a standard way of evaluating women, because if we look at just the sexual market value is subjective, meaning that it is up to the person, the observer, not the person being observed. It depends. If you take like just you and me, let's take you and me. We both like women. We both like good looking women, but when it comes down to it, you got a taste and I got a taste, and we got different tastes. One woman, I might say, oh, this woman is beautiful. You might say, oh, she's not all that, and vice versa, right? So it's subjective. And so, but we get hung up on that. We get hung up on, okay, it's the sexual market value of this person, and, you know, how is everybody else going to see her? Now, I would say in certain circles that is important. Like you're, for example, you're in the politics, or you're really high up in the company and you have to go to a lot of different functions. You can't be bringing no bag in there with you. You know what I'm saying? You can't be saying, this is my wife. You can't be bringing somebody like, what's that chick on The Sopranos? This dude that wanted to kill all these people because they was making fun of his wife. Oh man. There was one guy on The Sopranos. He wasn't with the Sopranos crew. He was with the New York crew, but he had a wife. His wife was really big. And so, there was a couple of the guys in the Sopranos crew was always making fun of her. Oh boy, found out about it, and he wanted to kill the main dude that was doing it. And so he couldn't get to him, so he started knocking off the other dudes, for no reason, just catching them wherever and getting at them. But my point is, you can't have a woman like that and expect to go into different circles and then say, hey, you know what, we're going to promote you, because to men, and this is like I said, it's also, it's out of your control, but it's how men in the upper sections of politics and business think. They feel like, hey, you should have a wife that reflects goodness and youth and beauty and charm. You should have a wife that reflects that, so that we can promote you up these levels and you can represent us as well. But if you can't even pick a wife that compliments you, how you gonna run this company? How we gonna give you a position of power here, a pitch where you got to make real decisions, and you can't even make a real decision in your life to say I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying this is how men of means think. They go, well, damn, if you can't have a woman that if you can't pick a woman that's going to reflect you in a good way, how are you going to reflect this company in a good way? How are you going to reflect our business relationship in a good way, so that we all can make even more money? That's how they think like that. So I can understand how that happens like that. But the average cat ain't never going to get to that point. And the average woman ain't never going to get to that point. But even still, the average cat, what you got to worry about? You still got to worry about a woman, like you said. You got to be able to decide whether, even if you question her, is she telling you the truth? Now, how are you going to be able to do that? How do you determine whether this lady's you ask her, hey, how many children you want? 2. She really want 5, but she telling you 2. So how do you determine, was she lying, or that she's lying, and getting the real answers? How do you do that?
Now that right there, I don't think anybody's a mind reader, because at that moment she could be telling the truth at that moment, and then later on down the line change her mind. The women do that every day, all day.
Right.
So there is no foolproof. There is no foolproof answer because if there was a truth serum out there and we knew about it, as men, we sure would go get it. So there is the only truth serum I know about is liquor. That's about the only thing I can think of that you give a woman, and whatever in her, it's gonna come out.
Yeah, it's gonna come out. Yeah, that's true.
As far as searching for the truth.
But Brother Jarvis, you cannot liquor up your woman every time you want to find something out. You're gonna have to be a little slicker than that. So okay, so
right.
So you're gonna have to find me a slicker way of doing this, or more a way that more kind of makes sense.
The only thing you can do is study her and look for tails. In other words, everybody has a tail when they start lying. You're gonna have to study your woman and find her tail.
Okay.
Everybody tells on themselves.
Okay, so
everybody has a tail.
What exactly does that mean, brother? What exactly does that mean?
Okay. In college, they teach you that in general, when people start lying, what they'll do, their eyeballs roll to the upper left-hand part of the eyelid. Why is that? That's the left part of the brain is the female side or the creative side. So they're thinking towards that side. So they say that the eyeball rolls that way, and that's when you can tell somebody's starting to lie. That's what they teach police officers. Okay. Now, it's not necessarily all the way true for everybody, because everybody don't do that. But the left side of the brain is the female or the creative side. But you're gonna have to study your woman and find tails. And some women, if she know you and you study, she may switch up her tail. If she can, because never underestimate a woman. Yeah. Never. Because if she find that you study her tail, she's going to change it. Because remember, because know this, she's always studying you. Right. Always. That's what a woman does. She's always going to study you.
Now that was my
always.
Now that was my theory. My theory is the same, where I got from just dealing with different situations. Just always be evaluating somebody. You, especially a woman, you got to constantly evaluate them every time you run into them. But you can't be constantly questioning them. Where'd you go? What'd you do? You can't. I don't think that's healthy to do that. But you got to always find a way, like you said, that's a good, that's some good advice, what you said right there. But you got to find a way to always be evaluating them, because a woman can change her mind in a heartbeat. And, it's okay. Oh, a woman, I'm a woman, I can change my mind, right? You a man, you can't. I heard a woman say on the other day on the show, she said, you got to sign some paperwork to walk away from me. I'm like, wow. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Like they don't want you to be able to change your mind, but they want the freedom to be able to change their mind. So it's just, how do you, because I'm trying to get these young brothers to not go through the stuff we went through. And how do we, okay, so let's come back to this, because I got a deeper issue to talk to you about. I got a deeper issue, Brother Jarvis, and I need your help. Now we in the era of what they call Me Too movement, right? Where women are speaking up against the issue of sexual assault. It's all good. I don't think any man has a problem with women speaking out against sexual assault. Okay? The problem that we have here is that is a fine only by a woman. Right? Now, remember me and you back in the day when we came up, 70s and 80s, when we came up, they told you to be persistent. Right? You be persistent. Like, what was that skunk that was always chasing all of the girls? Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah. So, he was persistent. He was called persistent, right? In today's world, that's stalking. You're stalking somebody when you do that to somebody, right?
Right.
So you can't be persistent like that. What you have to do is you got to be able to recognize when you're going too far. See, and most men, and this is what I want your help on, Brother Jarvis. I need your help. We all need your help on this one. When is going too far? When are you going too far nowadays? See, back in the days, going too far meant when a woman said, hey, look, you would have to really, you could push a woman to a point, and when she finally broke like that and said, hey, look, I'm not interested in the situation, then the average guy would be like, oh, okay, I get it now that, I went a little too far. But a woman don't have to do all that today. So when is it going too far? And this is also on the same page of evaluating women. When are you going, when is your, you taking your intentions and you're going too far?
When she say no. I mean, today, if you talk about today, it used to be if she said no, you keep going until, she really sternly said no or put her hands on you. But today, whenever she say no, you went too far. As soon as she say no, stop. That's the best way I can put it.
Okay. Now,
even though no mean yeah to you, but today in Me Too movement, no mean no.
Okay. So, is there a point when somebody says no? Is there a point where you because we want to be specific, do you give the woman a cooling off period and then try back later? Or do you just say, hey, just walk away, cash your chips in, walk away, and say that's it?
You can. It's better to say that's it. That's better.
Right?
Because, with the Me Too movement, I mean, complimenting her on her hair can get you put up with discipline at the job.
Exactly.
You can't say or do anything.
Exactly, which is the next place I was going to go. Should you at all try to communicate with women at work for the purposes of relationships or, hooking up or whatever? Should you do that with people on the job?
Emphatically, no.
Yeah.
Do not do it. I mean, it's not a good practice. It's bad. You want to do anything, do everything off the job. With the Me Too movement, nothing is off limits. You can't say less. The less you say, the better it is.
Yes.
Don't say anything. I mean, they went back on Bill Cosby. Oh, brother, 40 years, 50 years.
Wait. No evidence. Not some evidence. No evidence. That man is sitting in jail based on no evidence. It was all testimony. Ain't no evidence of nothing. It's all testimony, and it's all him saying, this is how we used to get down back then. Everybody used to get down like that.
Yeah.
The man sitting in jail from no evidence. I just want to throw that out there. That's how you could get caught up like that.
Yeah. 50 years ago? What did he do? Everybody was taking pills then. Willfully. Oh, he said he slipped some in my drink. No, you took those pills. Did you forget?
Yeah.
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 Everybody did that.
Everybody was doing that. Everybody was getting down like that.
And now, all of a sudden, now I'm not saying men have, forced them ways. I'm not saying the Hollywood couch don't exist. It exists.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that's fair. If you know the Hollywood couch exists and you did it, but then you got the role and now you're going to say you made me do it? No. If you didn't want the role and he wanted that to get that role, don't do it.
Well,
either it was worth it or it wasn't.
Well, brother, see, that's the problem. That's the problem. Everything is based on the woman's perspective of it. If she say you did this and it was out of, she could do it, be down with it, and then come back 30 years later and say, I was intimidated. I was intimidated.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre's wife signed a prenuptial agreement. Now she's saying I was under stress when I did it. So she's trying to get it thrown out. A woman can say whatever. They don't have to.
Yeah.
They don't have to agree to nothing. That's why women don't even like working with women. Women that run companies, they never. You would think a woman having a company would say, okay, I'm gonna hire many women as I can. But they don't like to even have a lot of women working for them, because once they have women working for them, they understand, they see what they're dealing with. And they're like,
because they know how they are.
Right.
They know how far they'll go.
Well,
they know what they would do.
A lot of times they think that they picking ones that's not like that, but eventually if you pick enough women, one's gonna slip in there she gonna say everything right, do everything right, and then the whole purpose of you know, catching you up. You know what I mean? Befriend you to do all that to befriend you. Like what's the chick that got Samson caught up? What was her name? Bathsheba? Delilah. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, they befriend you and being sent to you to just catch you up. Now here, this whole time, this chick know she finna catch this cat up. She know what's on the line for him. Death. That's the bottom line. They gonna either kill him or really put him in a way where he's gonna be useless. Right? But hey, what does she care? what does she care if you get killed? Like these women, man. A lot of these women, man. What do they care if you get killed, man? What do they care if they rip your heart out of you by taking your children from you, then making you pay her for it, and then making you pay to take care of them, which that ain't the hard part, but but then you got to pay her as well. That's what does she care? What does she care, man?
Right.
It just so. This is my point, but we got a pressing thing because a lot of these guys are going into the job market for the first time, and you think because somebody's talking to you cool, you could have a conversation with them about certain issues, not realizing that, man, you just get yourself caught up, and you don't want to get yourself caught up because you're talking about something somebody makes you think it's okay to talk about, and then next thing you know, somebody's coming and say, hey, they want to see you down at HR. What? What do they want to see me for? You got no clue. And then they go, well, somebody, because they ain't going to say her name, right? Somebody said they had a conversation with you, and such and such and such and such was brought up. So, and now they feel like they can't go to work. They can't come to work. They're off on stress. So we got to let you go so we can have this person come back. I mean, anything is possible out there.
Yeah.
So when you go out into the workplace, you can't be talking about sex, politics, religion. There's certain things you just can't talk about on the job.
Right.
Especially if you're a new hire. You just can't do it. You can't do it.
Right.
But I saw the old heads doing, old heads saying whatever they want. They old heads.
Right.
And if they willing to risk everything, it's on them. Maybe they know somebody, they've been over their house and they got a different relationship. I'm talking about the average person. You ain't been to this person's house. You don't know this girl. You don't know what she doing. And some of them girls are out there just to mess your world up. Just like a girl on Baby Boy with Tyrese. She's just out there just to mess your world up. She don't care nothing about you. You know what I mean? Her whole goal, just because she hated his girlfriend, she gonna try to sleep with the man. So I mean, I'm saying all this to say that we got to take a better look at how we look at these women and how we categorize them, put them like some women in the category of, I want to smash, short-term smash. Some women are in the category of I want a long-term smash. They're a project, right? This might take a minute, but I want to. She's gonna be on my back burner. And there's some women, even though they look good, they smell nice, and all of that, they got all the physical accoutrements. You tell by talking to them for about 5 minutes, they don't have the character, they don't have the personality, they don't have anything. Some girls, I notice a lot of girls out here don't even have good personalities no more. Remember when a girl used to have to have a personality. It's so bad now, man, for men. A woman don't even have to have a good personality anymore. They feel like they doing you a favor. I'm going to do you a favor and go out on a date with you. What? I don't need your favor. I don't need your favor. I don't need your favor. Go ahead on out there with somebody else. I mean, that's the way I see it. But I know it's a lot of guys be like, man, but she fine though, bro. I heard this sister talking the other day, man, and I saw her on the video, man. Sister was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. She had the personality of a car wreck. I wouldn't have been able to sit next to her for 2 minutes, just the way she talked. And don't get me started on the ghetto talking girls. That's just, man, I just can't handle. That's me. But brother, we got to straighten this thing out. How do we evaluate these women? How do we do that? How do we evaluate a situation? And also, how do we evaluate a situation to recognize that it's time to cut and run? All right, brother. So continuing where we was at with those technical difficulties. See, I want these young brothers to know how to evaluate different situations, whether it's at school, whether it's at work, whether it's just on the street. How do you evaluate a woman where you know, is this somebody who you should even be dealing with? Do you even let them in the front door? How do we do that? How do we go about doing that and making that a better situation? Sir?
That was the question. Yes, sir.
That is the question.
But like I said, yeah. Well, like I was trying to say before, you're gonna the best judgment of character. Some of us are good as far as judging character. I'm not, because I normally take you at face value. In other words, what I see is what I judge you off of. But a lot of times, what you see is not what you get as far as a relationship. That's not at all what you get. You can only see the surface, or like I said, at face value. You don't know what's inside of somebody.
Uh-huh.
So the best judge you could do that I could think of as an older man is to go off her spirit. You're going to have to, like a woman. See, one thing about a woman, the way we were taught, when God calls, a woman will always hear God before a man does. What do you mean? Because a woman, she's made that way. She's very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
See, men, we aren't as sensitive, especially not like a woman. So when God even whispers, a woman will hear him, but you won't.
Well,
the best example I can give her that, when that baby start crying in the middle of the night, you don't wake up. You dead asleep, but she do. She pop right out of bed and goes tend to that baby. That baby do a whimper, she up, because she's sensitive to that.
I would like to throw something in there as well.
Go ahead.
I would like to throw in there that she may hear him first. She may see him moving first. But I think the one who obeys first, or who's more apt to obey, regardless to what it means to them, is the man. Just wanted to throw that in there. All right.
Okay, yes, sir. Yeah. Well, the man is more of a soldier.
Yeah.
Women aren't soldiers. That's why you should never put a woman on a battlefield with men. You can't fight with a woman beside you. You can't do it. You don't want to get her killed and you, because you so busy trying to protect her.
Yeah.
A woman is not a soldier, but a man is.
Right.
A soldier is, for the most part, hear and obey. A woman, she ain't made to be no soldier. That ain't her.
Right.
Do
you think that's why we have so many problems with giving them instructions and them not following those instructions?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She's not a soldier.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And she throws logic all out the window. She mostly goes off how she feel about something.
Right.
None of it makes sense or not. You the logical one. She's not.
Right.
She's not even made on logic like that. Now, is she capable of logic? Yes, she is. Some women, okay, if you study men and women, or boys and girls, in general, we're not even going to go race. In general, boys and girls.
Okay.
You ever wonder why boys are good at math and girls are good at English?
I wonder why.
Because of the way you ever wonder why? Because of the way we're made.
Okay.
Math is more logical.
Okay.
Math is only one answer. You know, you only got one path. 1 + 1 = 2. You know, or 2 + 0 = 2, but it's still 2. That equation, it doesn't change.
Okay.
You know, but in English, you know, it could be overt or it could be covert.
Okay.
You know, it depends on how you feel. It can be interpreted or looked upon a whole nother way. It's kind of like art.
Right.
You know, everybody sees art, you know, differently. It depends on what art is to you. So like I said, men and women are different. But the Quran says that plain. What it meant by that. Meaning that when God, the male and the female are different. See, most times we just bypass that.
Okay.
You have no idea what God is really saying.
Okay.
You know, He made you different. But you were made to complement each other.
Right.
And you need one another. Right. You know, the problem with the black woman to me today, she really believes I don't need you.
Right.
She believes that.
Right.
You know, that's her biggest problem. She does need you.
Well, why does she?
Regardless of what she thinks.
Well, why does she even? Where did she even get that notion?
Well, she was taught not to need you.
By whom?
I mean, the devil taught her that. I mean, number one, she felt like you can't even protect her. You know, I mean, what did you build? What did you do?
Right.
If they invade the black community, who's going to fight? The only fighters you got in the black community is the gangbangers.
That's right.
And you fighting him.
That's right. That is right.
You don't even know you're supposed to be fighting him. You fighting him.
That's right.
Now, he a killer, but he don't know who to kill.
Right.
As we were taught. He just don't know who to kill.
Right.
But he a killer. He's a born killer.
God's army.
He just don't know. Right. There it is. That's God's army.
God's army.
He don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
He just don't know it.
Right.
You don't know it either. His grandma called the police on him.
Right.
You know, but that's a whole nother story. Like I said, you know, the getting back to my point, you know, you're going to have to learn how to develop, meaning men, your sensitive side. But we're so busy trying to be a man. It's damn near impossible. You don't even get a chance to develop the sensitive side until you hit your 40s and 50s. Because by then, you know exactly what you are and where you're going. And it don't matter what nobody thinks.
Yeah.
You know, like the Quran says, man starts to mature at 40.
Right.
I used to wonder what that meant. I understand what that meant. Because at 40, you know exactly what you don't, what you do and don't want.
Yeah.
You know what you want at 40.
Yeah.
Somebody can call you gay. You know you ain't gay. That don't even phase you no more. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't even feel like you got to prove you're not gay. I ain't got to prove you ain't gay. I know I ain't gay.
Right.
Why I care what you think? As long as she know I ain't gay. And I can prove to her I ain't gay, but I ain't got... Damn if you think I'm gay.
Yeah.
So we, meaning men, you're going to have to develop how to read her spirit. Because her spirit will dictate or tell you who and what she is. If she's nasty, with a nasty attitude towards everybody else, she's a nasty person. But she's nice to you. Oh, she's nice. No, she's not.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Eventually, you're going to get on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something that she wants or needs from you. That's the only reason why she's nice to you and horrible to everybody else. And you wonder why?
Yeah.
Ask her why.
Eventually, you're going to get on that list of people she treat horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Emotionally, she'll tell you exactly why. But so-and-so do this, and so-and-so do that, and so-and-so do this. She'll tell you everything about them. Well, wait a minute. All them wrong in you, right?
Yeah.
Something wrong with that.
Yeah.
They all wrong. You don't like none of them.
Right.
You cool with me? Something wrong with that.
Well, one thing is definitely when somebody would say is adverse to self-improvement, you know, like a lot of women are adverse to self-improvement. You know what I mean? Like if you listen to some of these videos about, you know, brothers telling, hey, you know, rate yourself from 1 to 10 or whatever. And the sister will say something like, oh, I'm already at this level here. But, and now for me, I'm not a levels person. I'm not a level up person. Because in my mind, if you saying level up, you saying this woman is here and I'm going to level up. Well, not me. Usually it's women saying level up, where a woman would say, I'm going to level up to this guy here, meaning that I'm going to take all the bad habits I got and the bad things surrounding me, and I'm just going to find a dude that's doing better and take all of this madness to him so he can handle it better, as opposed to let me clear the madness from my life and then let me try to get somebody who is of a same mindset and the same spirit, where we can, like you said, you can complement each other. Because what good is it if you have a beautiful woman on your team that's draining you dry, spinning you into oblivion, and you know, taking your spirit from you every day, you know, as opposed to having somebody that maybe not that high in the looks department, but the spirit is strong and they got your back, and you know they got your back. And so that's, we need to be able to evaluate all of that stuff, man, so we ain't in a bad situation. Because a lot of these young dudes, they just look at a woman. I don't even say just the young ones. We got some older cats that do the same thing. Oh, this girl's fine, so I'm gonna just roll with her. You know what I mean? She fine, so that means I got to put up with all of her drama. I feel like this. Well, I'm an old man like you. Ain't no woman worth no drama. None. Right. If you can't, I mean, you're going to have problems. Let me say it like this. Right. There's going to be problems. There's going to be disagreements. But it should always be in between that, like oil in a engine, it should be respect. That's keeping the engine moving, right? Right. Or respect is the lubrication that keeps the relationship moving. Okay, so if you don't have that respect there, then that's where the problem. Because see, somebody could love you, but the love is the word love doesn't have a standard meaning anymore. You used to have a standard meaning. Love meant I love you. That meant certain specific things. Right. At this point in time, love don't mean nothing but I'm with you, and this is what you're supposed to say when you with somebody, even though you don't love them, you're not in love with them. This is what you're supposed to say. Then something happens. You wonder why this person just could turn and run. How can they just turn and run? Because their idea of love wasn't ever matching your idea of love. No. And they didn't want to hurt your feelings and tell you, I don't really feel that way. Right. So that you just keep on thinking that they was with the business. And then when opportunity availed itself for them to level up or do better or have a person with better resources deal with their problems, out you go out the window. Right. Now, a lot of these young guys don't realize, man, you know, there ain't nothing. I'm trying to think of something, brother. I don't know what would be worse. What is worse than living a life with a woman that is not not on your team, and you gotta feed, clothe, and house this person?
Brother, that's hell on earth.
Isn't it?
I've heard a minister say, there's nothing worse than living with a dissatisfied woman.
There ain't nothing worse.
There is nothing worst on the planet. You'd be better taking cyanide, getting on out of here.
I wouldn't say all that, but definitely you don't want to stick around with a woman that's that's not on your team. You definitely don't.
Yeah, she killing you anyway.
Yeah, she killing
you gonna
you
slow
anyway.
down?
Yeah. I mean,
eventually she gonna kill you anyway.
Well, I'll put it like this: if you got to die and you've been sentenced to death, I would take the cyanide as opposed to having a woman following you around your cell all until you die 10 years later from just the stress of it, so
yeah.
or you in your cell and you got to make that phone call and some dude answers the phone and you like, what the hell is going on in my house?
Right.
You know what I mean? I did everything I could for this woman and she don't at least have the respect to never let no dude answer my phone.
Right.
I mean, you gotta have some respect. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't want these young brothers to go to school because, see, man, there was a time I remember, man, when I was in high school, junior high school, and we used to grab girls' butts and run.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we used to grab their butt and run, right?
Oh yeah, we used to do that too.
Bro, they're calling the cops on you now. Can't do that stuff. They call the cop on you. You sitting in the cop's office now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're liable to get charges put on you and have to register as sex offender just for grabbing some chick's butt.
Yeah.
So we got to tell them you got to evaluate these women, and there ain't no woman, like you said in the beginning. No mean no, man. Right when you, and I'm gonna get a sexual harassment. We're gonna do a whole thing on sexual harassment, man. I'm gonna get a flyer on that, and we're gonna go through it and see. Hey, man, no means no. That's it. When they tell you no, that's it. Stop.
Yeah.
Drop it. Leave it alone, and walk away from it.
I still know some brothers who use the wear down method.
The wear down method.
No. Yeah, the wear down method. I wouldn't suggest you do that.
The only way you can do something like that in today's world is you got to spin yourself into oblivion, man. And I don't think that that's a smart way to go. I mean, because they'll let you do it.
Yeah, but there is a technique to it. The wear down method. I remember. Now I'm talking about older men when they use the wear down method. Now, they're also putting overconfidence in there too. In other words, I know I'm gonna get it. Yeah, you want to give it to me. That's overconfidence. I'm putting a seed in your head to let you know you're saying no, but you really mean yes. No, she really mean no.
Well, but see, there's still a certain level of respect there because, see, women maybe have had time to get to know you as a person and respect you as a person, respect your hustle that you're trying to get it. She just ain't available. Like sometimes you go to get with a woman, man, and she feeling you feeling her, but she ain't available because she in something else. She in a relationship. And so as to not disrespect this man, she got to turn you down, even though she feeling you. You can tell she feeling you. She's just unavailable. That's like that's another part of my book is lists all these different scenarios. It lists all these different scenarios of women like unavailability. Sometimes you got a connection there, but the woman is unavailable, or you unavailable, right? Right. You in a relationship, or you married, and you see this chick in the grocery store by the oranges, and y'all just hit it off. She look good. She just your type, but it's just the wrong time. That usually happens to married cats, but I mean, it's just timing is off. It's not the right time because you married, and you should know better that if you get involved with something, man, you risking everything. See, it's not like, oh man, you make a mistake. Oh well, you make a mistake. Okay, just get a divorce and you go your way. Nah, it's not like that, man. Like you said, man, most of the time, the woman who would try to put you to the grill, right? She just try to take everything, even if she don't want it. She try to make sure you can't have it. That's all she wants.
Yeah.
She makes sure you can't have it.
Right.
And so, I have 3 sons, And my oldest son had been he's like years ahead of the other two. So whenever he would be playing with toy, he'd set it down. One of the other two would pick up that toy, even though he didn't want it. He would just go get it from him, just to make sure they couldn't play with it. Just
Right.
I'm the only one that's gonna play with this toy. I have to keep breaking it down to him. Hey man, if it's here, they can play with it.
Right.
But that's mine. But no. But even if it is yours, you're gonna share it. If it's up in here,
Right.
it's gonna be shared.
Right.
So
I bought it.
yeah, but my point is, man, sometimes these women get like that, man, like a child. You know, if I can't have it, if I don't want you to have it, that's what I don't want. I just don't want you to have it.
Right.
So I'm saying that to say, one bad decision with one woman can burn your whole future down. You can burn your whole future down.
Yes.
I was watching this thing about this one comedian, man. He went on a date with this chick, man, and the chick got mad because he didn't call him back. And she went to the press and started talking about how he was harassing her and how he was sexually, not assaulting her, but just sexually inappropriate with her and all this stuff. Hey, man, you can't let that slide, right? Your career's on the line. Your reputation's on the line. You got to spend money to defend yourself.
Right.
For some bull crap. You have to.
Right.
You can't let it go because now you're going to start losing work because of this situation.
Right.
Okay, bringing it back down to us, those of us with our feet on the ground. Now we got to look at it like this. Okay, man, you know, when you're dealing with women, you got to tread softly.
Right.
I know everybody's telling you, oh, be an alpha dog. Go in there and just you tell them what you want to do, and that's it. Yeah, you can in certain situations. But at work, no.
Right.
At work, no. Or any organized situation, you cannot go in there and be like, hey, baby, what's happening with you? Are you seeing somebody or what's up? Because I'm looking at you and you looking good in that dress. Man, you stacked. You can't do that in an organized situation no more. Because a lot of times they won't even tell you that they won't even tell you that you stepped out of line. Because they don't want you to trip. They don't know if you're going to trip, so they'll just go straight to HR. You're like, what? I don't even know. She didn't even say nothing. Of course she ain't going to say nothing.
Right.
She don't know if you're going to trip and just get violent, right?
Right.
So, brother, how do we encourage these young brothers to move forward and evaluate properly? What's the first thing they should do? Let's say they meet a woman and they meet a woman out in the street somewhere. They're in the grocery store or whatever. They meet a woman. What should they be looking for first?
Is she nice?
Okay, she gonna be nice. Well,
No. They get off the bat. They can have a nasty attitude.
Yeah,
that could be. Yeah. That doesn't mean it is. She could be having a bad day.
Right.
That could be a telltale sign right there.
Right.
But again, we have to develop. But most young men don't have that kind of time. I mean, as a black man, can you afford to develop your sensitive side? It's only as you get older, when you know where you're going, when you know what you want, when you know what it is, because you've made enough mistakes to know what you do and don't want. That's when you start to develop that sensitive side. Now, can young men afford to develop that sensitive side? Because young man to young man, if I see a weakness, and that sensitive side could be taken as weakness, you're gonna get attacked. So, can they afford to develop that? But you really have to, like you said, that's the only thing I can come up with to judge a young woman or to judge a woman. You're going to have to come in contact. You're going to have to see her. You're going to have to, like she does. Because see, women Men go from the outside in, meaning that the first thing we see are looks. So we judge a woman or a person off her looks.
Right.
That's the outside. And then if you get into a relationship, as the relationship develops, we go from the outside on in. Then we fall in love. Like they say, like even in college, they teach you that, when they teach you psychiatry or psychology, it's one of them. Really, it's both of them. They teach you that the woman always falls in love first. But that's true. She does. Because she's going from the inside out.
Okay.
Most women don't judge too many men off of looks. Most. Some do. I mean, well, they all do. But a woman can look past that. Because sometimes you wonder, well, man, how he get hurt? Because see, what you see and what she see are two different things. She's going from the inside out. Or he just could be, like you said, have those kind of resources to where his looks don't matter.
Right.
See, to a woman, it's not about looks. It's not necessarily about looks.
Right.
Does that play a factor? It can. But it's not necessarily all about looks. To a man, because we're physical. That's the first thing we see. So that's what we judge her off of, her looks. Oh, she look good. I want to sleep with her. That's how we operate.
Right.
How a woman operates, he looks like a good provider. He looks stable. I wonder if he could be the one I have children by, or we're going to walk down the aisle. If you talk to the sisters, if you talk to women, they all fantasize or they all judge you off of, is this my next husband? Or is this my husband? Or is this my future husband? Men never think like that. We never come in thinking, I'll marry her. We don't, that's the furthest, I don't care about that. Take your shirt off. That's what we know. Take your shirt off. Take your pants off. We ain't thinking about if you're going to be my wife. I'm not thinking about that because we're on the outside. We go from the outside in. She goes from the inside out. So again, to answer this question, we're going to have to develop, if these young men, you want to know her, go from the inside, like she do. Go from the inside out.
But okay, I got you. Go from the inside out. But they can't go from the inside out because they stuck. How do we evaluate this? Okay, step one.
Like she does.
Like how does she? But a woman is going to look at you and say, this is how a woman evaluates you. They're going to say to you, "Oh, what do you do for a living?"
Right.
Right. That's the number one thing. Because then they're going to try to count how much money you got.
Right.
And then she's going to ask you about your lifestyle because she's going to want to determine if you got enough available income to deal with her.
Right. And her children.
And her children if she got some, but mainly her. Because she's going to say, right. I'm going to need a guy who's got this much income, period, to deal with me. Because I got, little Ray, little Ron, and so plus I got me, gotta get my hair done, nails done, clothes.
Right.
I gotta have all this happening. Even if I ain't with you, I'm gonna look good.
Right.
So I need somebody who's got this certain type of income.
Right.
So they're gonna ask you questions to evaluate that. My thing is they don't want us to ask them questions. How much you weigh? How much you, how much you weigh? What's your dress size? You ain't supposed to ask those questions, right? Because that's intrusive. Right. But here they can ask you about the most serious situation you have in your life, which is your income. They can ask you about that.
Right. Well, that's partly our fault, partly her fault, meaning that, she feel like, okay, I'm courting you, but you're not courting me. I'm saying if you're quote unquote worthy, I've heard that statement. I'm saying if you're worthy, if I'm going to open my legs up to you or not, if you want me to get graphic or,
Yeah, but
I want to see.
Me too. I'm trying to see I'm trying to see the same thing. I'm trying to see the same thing.
Well, then you need to be intrusive. If she's intrusive like that, then you need to be. And be comfortable with it.
But I can't be intrusive because they said that if I'm asking about somebody else's, if I'm asking those kind of questions, then I'm intrusive. I'm not right. I'm shaming her. I'm shaming her if I'm saying something about her weight.
Well, Well,
We should
do like
have
she do.
we should have income shaming, brother.
Right.
We should be able to
like
say, hey, you income shaming me.
Well, we'll do like she do.
You body
Women are much
shaming
smarter.
me because you said you want somebody tall. I ain't tall. You height shaming me.
Right. We'll do like she do.
What
she do.
What exactly are you talking about?
She's not going to outright just ask you, how much money do you make a year? She's not going to ask you that. Not like that.
No, she's going to say what you do for a living.
Yeah, she's right. So do like she do. You know, you keep saying, how do we do it? Well, I ask her, you know, do like she do. Now, you don't have to ask her weight because you could tell by the outside whether you dig it or not.
Yeah, but let's say it's somebody.
You gotta ask that.
Let's say it's somebody you met online. Let's say you got set up.
Oh boy.
Or let's say you see, because have you ever had this happen? I think most men have had this happen if you're over 30 years old. Maybe your younger guys haven't been through this yet, but the older guys have been through this. First time you see somebody, man, they look good. This girl looked good. Her body was real nice. The second time you see her, you go, wait a minute. All of that wasn't there at first. What happened?
Right.
And you realize at the first meeting, stuff was restrained, stuff was held back,
tied down.
Stuff was tied down, pulled up, you know what I'm saying, pushed out. So you didn't really see the real person.
Right.
Right? Now when you see him again, I was just watching this video the other day, man, where this sister Liz was beautiful, man. And I'm watching her, and she said she did an ad. She was doing a reaction video, but she said she was doing an ad for this hair. And I said, what you doing? And then they showed her with a real hair tied up on top of her head with a little hat on it, right? Little jailhouse hats on it. And then she started putting this glue all over her head. I'm telling you the truth, brother. She had a paintbrush and she was putting glue on the top of her head with this paintbrush, right?
I've heard about this.
Then she put this hair on her head. Then she put this wig on her head. And I'm sitting there like, what? I mean, I never even thought to question that. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way the sister was so well put together, I never even thought to question that. But I'm like, man, so a lot of times you don't know what you're getting, is my point. Even if you seeing it, even if you looking at it, you don't know what all you getting. So, and you definitely ain't gonna say, hey, see, a woman is slick. A woman has more opportunities to delve into your finances than you have to delve into her, fitness. For example, if you go out on a date with a woman, who's gonna pay? Typically.
Right.
I mean, woman's not gonna snatch the check from you. And if she does snatch the check from you, she's gonna do it just to see if you're gonna snatch it back and be a gentleman.
Right.
Right? Okay. So you're gonna pay for everything. So she's gonna be able to see, okay, he got enough money to take me to this place, but not this place. Okay, so this is when I want to eat shrimps and steak and shrimps, I got to go with this dude. When I want to eat steak and lobster, I got to go with a bigger baller. I got to go with a bigger player.
Right.
So the thing is, how are you going to be able to question her about her weight, her dress size, you're going to be able to evaluate her physical appearance when you first see her, but that may not be her true physical appearance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like next time you see her, she might look totally different. I remember I was in high school, man. One time, man, this dude was dating this chick, man. He was dating this chick for a whole year. she had these braids in her hair, right?
Right.
She looked nice. I mean, she wasn't no beauty queen or nothing, but she looked nice, right? So the following year, she took the braids out of her head. Ay, ay, ay. Holy smokes. Bad idea. The dude dropped her like a hot rock that day. And I was like, wow, just because she had a little puffy little afro, right? She didn't have the braids no more hanging all behind her head. She had this little puffy afro. Dude was like, nah, not me. Sorry. But I thought it was funny. But my point is, how do you do that? We had a disadvantage as men. One would come to you and say, "Bro, Jarvis, what you do for a living?"
Nothing.
And she could be so slick about it. "Hey, Brother Jarvis, you gonna come pick me up? What kind of car you have so I can know when you get here, I'll know it's you."
A 91 Honda.
What'd you say?
A 91 Honda.
A 91 Honda?
Yeah.
Didn't I hear you telling Brother Clarence that car stopped out on you?
Oh, it did.
You know what, Brother Jarvis?
Yeah.
I got something to do this Friday. I just remembered.
Wow. You don't like me then, huh? So you never did like me.
My mother is coming in from Cleveland, and we got to spend the whole weekend cleaning her snowshoes.
Yeah, you ain't like me though, huh?
Yeah, I thought you was nice. I thought you was nice at first, but now I see. And then you want to take me to Skizzlers? No, that ain't happening, Brother Jarvis. That ain't happening. I don't eat at Skizzlers. I don't eat there.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I don't eat at no Skizzlers, Brother Jarvis. You got to take me someplace that's good.
Brother Clarence go to. I thought it was good eats.
You sit right there go right back to the salad bar, keep going and going and going and going and going.
Man,
Buffet.
what you talking about?
But but that's what I'm saying, brother. Okay, so you're a young brother. You're a young brother. What? Okay, step one. I should start looking at. Oh, I mean, I'm obviously going to see her physical appearance, so we don't have to put that in. But what's the next thing I'm looking for? Her personality, right, or her demeanor, or what you say?
Well, I said if you're saying to answer your question, how do we judge or get around some of these? You're gonna have to go off her spirit. We have to develop your sensitive side as men.
How do I get to her spirit, brother? She got it guarded. She been stepped on, kicked, and the alpha dogs have kicked this girl up against the wall. So now when she comes out to deal with a regular, real brother, she got her spirit guarded. How do I get to that spirit?
You got to talk to her. It's called game. You got to get it over like a pimp. It's called game. You got to get it to open it up. I mean, if you want me to talk straight, you got to be like a pimp. See, pimp don't have holes for no reason.
I get it.
Do you know how hard it is to get a woman to go out and do the work and give you the money? That ain't easy.
Brother, I get it. See, a pimp and a preacher going to use the same system. They use the same system. It's just the only difference is the intent. Intent. Right. They use the same system. So I ain't mad at, the pimp. What I'm saying is, okay, you said you got to be like a pimp. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but we talking to brothers that don't know nothing. What are you actually saying? See, when they listen to this podcast, I want them to know exactly. I want them they can walk away. We giving them a toolbox that they can walk away with and they can use right then. They ain't gonna have to go figure nothing out. We telling them exactly what to do.
Okay. It ain't no simple answer. I put it like this. There are several books out that were, I believe he went under the alias name of Iceberg Slim. Okay. It's a very easy and a very good read. Read those books. If you really want to know, how or what, read those books. Because there is no one, young men, you're going to have to read. And you're going to have to take life experience. But more so, read.
Right.
Like I said, you want to know how to talk like a pimp. You want to know how to behave like a pimp. You want to know what gets a woman's attention. Iceberg Slim. It's an easy read, but there's so many lessons in those books. There are so many. It's written by, he was a real pimp. He really was a pimp.
Oh, yeah.
And he knew how to talk. But he found out his gift was really writing. Because a lot of people can talk, but they can't write. But he found out he could do both. And it was his main, I guess you could say, his main hoe who told him, you need to write this stuff down. And she started documenting or writing it. And she was the one who took it to Hollywood.
Wow.
And gave it to a publisher.
Wow.
And it was like, oh, we got to publish this. And she was a white woman.
Wow.
She started documenting all what he was saying and documenting all what he was doing. Iceberg Slim.
Yeah.
You think it's fictional. It wasn't fictional. It was real. All that stuff he wrote was real.
Okay.
Because even she was like, you need to write this. So when you say we want to give them a guide or something, go read Iceberg Slim. But there are so many books out there like that.
No.
There are a lot of books out there.
No, they can go read. No, they can go read Iceberg Slim, go watch the Mac and all that. They can go do all that.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
But I'm saying, brother, you getting feedback from wind or something. You outside or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you getting some feedback, man. It's making your testimony come out crazy with all that wind. You good?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. That's much better.
Go ahead.
That's much better. Okay. So, but okay. So you should look into the spirit, and how do I crack that spirit? Okay, I know I got to see, but in your version of it, like the professor used to say, the short version. What's the short version of how to crack that spirit open so you can see it? Like, what can I say or do? If I'm standing talking to a girl right now,
there are no one-liners. There is no guide. You're gonna have to feel what she's saying and capitalize off of whatever she's saying or wherever she's going with the conversation. You're gonna have to get her to talk. There are no one-liners.
Well, how do you get a woman to talk? The only way I know how to get a woman to talk is by talking about her. So
yeah, she wants to do that anyway. Yeah, that's easy. She'll talk about herself. They're vain, all of them. That's easy.
Yeah,
she'll talk about herself.
Well, see, they're going to say, well, I tried to talk to her about her, and she didn't want to talk about it. I said, well, they're all going to play coy at first.
Yeah.
It's something that you have to keep slowly doing. And so what is
talk to her?
Yeah, but
compliment her.
Talk to her like what?
Compliment her. I mean, come on, man. I mean, what do you want me?
Definitely compliment
there is no one-liner I can give you.
No,
I can't give you a one-liner.
No, I don't want no one-liner. Just a mode of thinking so that these dudes, because ain't gonna be no one thing you can say to any woman that's gonna get her to just open up. Different people are different. So what I'm saying is, it's got to be a line.
She wants to talk. She wants to talk anyway. On the job, off the job. You can see her at McDonald's or in the grocery store. You think these are good right here? I mean, if you're really interested in it, and just get her to talking and go from there.
Okay, so just get her talking.
Get her to talking.
Everybody ain't from Ohio. Everybody ain't an Ohio player, brother. Everybody ain't from Ohio. They don't know what they mean when you say just get her talking. They don't know what that mean.
If you want a number, I mean, it's like, I don't think I have to tell a young man, if you want a woman's number, I don't have to tell you, okay, step one, go up to her and ask for a number. No. You want a number, go ask her.
No, we ain't talking about, of course the dude is there trying to ask for a number. No, we're talking about trying to evaluate this girl as whether she should be even dealt with or not from this person. Either you should be dealing with her or not. No, course the dude went up to her and started talking to her. He already talking to her.
That's gonna take time. Like she do you. She can't evaluate you in one or two scenes. No, it takes time. When you evaluate somebody, it takes time.
Okay, so it takes time. So how do we evaluate? Even if it takes time, what are we looking for? What are you said the spirit, and that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
if the spirit is nasty, okay, this ain't the one. If she's mean towards everybody else, but she seems to be nice towards you, but she's a nice person. No, she's not. Judge her like, if she's mean towards everybody, something wrong. Or if she could be a person that, she really don't talk to nobody. She's really that nasty attitude or that nasty spirit. She's really to herself.
Ain't nothing like being out with somebody with a nasty spirit. That is the worst.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the worst, right? You thinking you're dealing with somebody that's nice, and then when you see her, she's treating the waiting staff bad. She's treating the valet bad. She's treating the people at the movies bad. I mean, she's treating everybody
always complaining.
Bad. Always
everything
complaining.
is a complaint.
Yeah, that is bad. That is a.
I mean, that's a sign.
Okay,
I mean,
that is a definite
sign.
sign. That is a sign. That is a definite sign.
Yeah, and especially now, the best sign you can get when she's nasty towards you. Yeah. Or she acts like she really don't be bothered with you. Leave her alone.
But that might take some time too. Yeah, that might take some time too, because she may be able to fight that urge to be nasty to you because she's trying to get closer to your resources. So she might be able to fight that. That might take a little time. But I'm saying when you let me say this. What I would do is look for a negativity. If somebody is constantly negative, that is a bad sign. Unless you're a negative person and you like negative people, but still negative people don't even like negative people. If you want to really build something, it's hard to build something with a negative person in your corner, man, because they're constantly sabotaging you, and they always putting doubt in your plans. You know what I mean? Like you saying, okay, I got everything all plugged up together. Only thing I got to do put in now is the effort to work and, make it happen. This other person will say, you can't do that. How you going to do that? You're supposed to go do this with me. You don't even put that much energy into stuff with me. Right? Now, can you imagine Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant listening to something like that? Kobe Bryant was an animal. He was and I keep saying this, but the guy was just not, he was just off his rocker. He just was not a regular person. So to tell somebody like that, hey, you know what? You trying to get all these championships. Here I am sitting here with these babies. That wasn't going to work with him. Fortunately for him, I give Vanessa Bryant so much credit because I don't know if somebody sat her down or she just understood it, or maybe the other Laker wives sat her butt down and said, hey, look, you got a special person that you're dealing with here. And you got an option. You can cut and run now, or you can let this man mature up. He ain't even all the way mature yet. You let him mature up, get where he's going, then he will see your value, and he will thank you for it later once he gets off the horse. But right now, let him ride the horse. Whatever he got to do to ride that horse, to get you this nice house, to get your babies into these posh schools, to get you these nice cars, to get you this lifestyle that you live in, let that man ride that horse. Right? But what the average woman do, the average woman is so vain, they would never been able to sit in that seat and say, because Kobe Bryant wasn't going to be that dude. Hey, Kobe, you ain't here for the baby's, little Christmas pageant. You ain't here for this. I'm on TV playing basketball. I ain't going to be at the pageant. Right? Which one you want me to do? You want me to miss I ain't LeBron James. That's why LeBron James ain't going to never be considered the best player in basketball, because he love his family too much. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and those type of guys, they just were different type of thinking type of men. They just was killers, man. They couldn't think about nothing else except putting that knife through the opponent's throat. If you got a woman, if you pick a woman that's a bad woman, how many NBA players, man, are broke now and divorced because they picked the wrong woman? Right? Brother, you there?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm here. Yes,
okay,
sir.
Yes, sir. I know I'm going on a rant, brother, but I'm just saying, this stuff is very important. And figuring out how to approach a woman in today's market is very important because your approach makes a difference. Like we said before, persistence used to be rewarded, right? Persistence is not rewarded in today's world, man. Because a lot of these women feel like you're supposed to be intimidated by them. You're supposed to approach them. You're supposed to be you're supposed to enter into the situation at a loss. Right?
Right.
In any other situation, that would make no sense, right?
Right.
Real estate man came to you and said, hey, this building is for sale for $100,000. Nobody would come in and say, oh, that's what they want, $100,000. I'm going to give them $150 just so I could have the building. The brother saying, you don't have to give $150. Just give $100. Right. No. I'm going to give the $150 because I want to be able to get to the building. But you don't have to do that to get to the building. You can get to the building, just give me the $100.
Right.
Nobody would do, any other place that would make no sense.
Right.
Right? That would make absolutely no sense. Any other way, hey, you go to the grocery store, that would be $300. I'm going to give you guys $400. No, sir. We 300 is what you
owe.
Yeah, that's what you owe. No. I'm gonna give you $400 because, I appreciate the fact that you did all this work and put these groceries in. You got it off the containers and you put it on the shelves and did all that stuff. I'm gonna give you $400.
Right.
The people now, after a while, the people gonna take it and they can put that $100 in their pocket. Whoever's taking that money. Right. But I'm saying, you don't have to do that. It don't make no sense.
Right.
But, Brother Jarvis, when we come to being with women, that's when we start doing stupid shit. We just start doing stupid shit. Right? We'll start, I think a well-placed compliment makes sense. Right?
Yes.
One or two well-placed compliments. But what do we do, Brother Jarvis? We compliment. We throw one well-placed compliment. The sister goes into overdrive. Get a little response, right? We go, oh, I got to throw another one out there. Right. Yeah, I got to throw another one out there. Now I got to throw another one out there. Then I got to throw another one out there.
Only problem is you got 10 other men saying the same thing you just said.
Right? And not only that, but let's bring it back down to you, the one person throwing all them compliments out there. Now you just throw out 10 or 15 compliments, right?
Right.
Guess what? Now you're the person that makes her feel good. You Dr. Feel Good. I'm Dr. Feel Good. You got your chest out like you Dr. Feel Good. Like, hey, I could make this girl feel good because I could. Oh yeah, you can. She get on the phone with you and you can make her feel good. She get on the phone with you and she always had a bad day. I had a bad day. She only get on the phone with you when she got problems. Right? When she want her spine ripped from her skull, she ain't calling you. Who she calling? What's that dude you used to say?
Killer Red.
Killer Red. That's what she called it. Killer Red.
Killer Red.
Well, you want me to come over there? Well, you got to come pick me up. And I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And I need a new PlayStation game. So if you want me to do that, put in that kind of work on you, this is what you got to do for me. You so crazy. We can just buy all that when you get here. I just use my card. You can order it online. Right? So here you are. Man, I got it made, man. What you mean, man? Man, Shanae, man, she just, man, every time I'm her Dr. Feelgood. That's what she called me, man, Dr. Feelgood. And man, so have you got anything yet? Well, no. How long you been talking to this girl? Couple months. But why? What's happening? Because I know. I mean, we creating a bond. Meanwhile, Killer Red is
knocking and blowing her back on. You stupid enough to believe that.
Grabbing her by the neck and scraping up the headboard with her, right? And she like, oh, he's got problems. I got problems. But every time she calls me, she got a problem.
Yep.
Killer Red, she ain't got no problems. Her only problem is I can't get to your house fast enough.
Right.
But my point is this, man. We going out like suckers, man. We going out like suckers, and we need to learn how to evaluate this. See, like if you evaluated this situation properly, you would have said, okay, I could see. Put it like this: for every compliment you given out, I would say for a woman, for every 2 compliments you give a woman, you should at least be getting 1 back. If that's not the ratio that you're dealing with, you should say to yourself, something's wrong here. Right? She should be work hard, even if you are out of shape and not that easy on the eye. She should be working to find something to say. You're so sweet. You're such a good person. I'm glad I know you. Something to say. Now, let me tell you, Brother Jarvis, let me tell you when you have been, see, because women do the same thing. They're just better at it because they're not throwing out compliments left and right. They're just better at it. When most of the time when a man comes in, they're in the control tower, right? They're in the cockpit, so they already know what's going on. So they're better and faster at it. So they're going to categorize you quickly, and they will say things to you to let you know where you're at if your eyes are open. But if you don't know where your eyes are open, they'll just let you sit where you at, thinking that you're going to actually, your seat is going to get to the front sooner or later, and your seat ain't never going to move. They'll let you figure out your seat ain't never going to move. Right?
Not kind enough to tell you.
Well, it could be what do you call that? A combination of they don't feel like they don't respect you enough to let you know where you stand. It could be that, or a combination of that, and they just don't feel like they don't know how you're going to take it. Right? You could tell one dude, like somebody like me, you could tell me, hey, you know what? I'm just not interested in you. I just, you know what? I just put you, you're such a good friend. You remind me. Okay, let me tell you something they're gonna say, because they're never gonna say you in the friend zone. They're gonna say you are in the friend zone. That's not how they say it. This is how they say you in the friend zone. You remind me of my Uncle Charles.
That's bad.
Right? You remind me of my brother.
Right.
You remind me of my nephew or whatever, right? They'll say something like that.
Right.
That's at instant, because they're not going to have sex with their nephew or their uncle or none of that. So they're not going to have sex with none of their relatives, right?
Right.
So that's them basically telling you out of contention for sex.
Yep.
If you got your eyes closed, you don't realize what's going on. You think they're endearing them. You think they're endearing you, like saying you closer to them than these other dudes out here that's just running through them, like Amtrak, right? So you not knowing. That's just not having an understanding of how they think and how they speak and what they mean when they say what the things they say.
Yeah, codes.
Yeah, the code. They use code, but it ain't really keep code. It's just us not knowing because we want it to work so bad, right?
Yeah.
I remember one time my father bought me a remote control car. It never worked, brother. It never worked. I wanted that car to work so bad, man. I took the whole thing apart, man. Put it back together. I didn't even know what I was doing, man. But I tried to make it work, man. It never worked.
Right.
It never worked. And I was just like, dang, man. I wanted that car to work. Yeah, I wanted to know why, but my father was like, F that car, man. Forget it.
Yeah.
It ain't even worth doing all that for.
No, I ain't taking it back.
I ain't taking it back. Get on out and go play. Go play. That's it. Remember, brother, back in the day, man, they just kick you out the house for a couple of hours. You got to get out of here.
All day.
You got to get out. I'm done. I want something to drink. Use the hose.
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, I stepped off. But like I said, getting back to evaluating these women, we're going to have to evaluate their spirit. And we got to evaluate whether they can be trusted. Same thing with a woman. Woman's going to evaluate whether you can be trusted. How's she going to evaluate whether you can be trusted? You said you was going to be there at 5 o'clock. You didn't show up till 9:30 that night. She knows she can't trust you.
Right.
And it's you the one that taught her that she can't trust you. Because you taught her. You didn't show up and you didn't even call and say, I ain't going to make it. And, don't look for me at this time because I got held up with A, B, or C. So you just didn't show up until later, right? So she knows she can't trust you. So what does she do? She don't show. She feel like, hey, you don't respect her time. She won't respect yours.
Right.
I'll be there in 10 minutes. Oh, well, I didn't know you was gonna be here, so I ain't really ready because I didn't know if you was gonna come. And then you got the nerve to get mad because she didn't get ready, but you didn't even let her know that you wasn't coming till 4 hours later, the last time, right? But my point is this: first we got to look at how she treats the people. First we got to look at her and her spirit. Now, her spirit, you can look at it a couple different ways. You might have a religious connection, meaning you got a similar religious philosophy, right? You can kind of like ask her about different things involved with that. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, this. But say you don't. Say you don't. Because what you don't want to be is, like they say, unevenly yoked, right? But see, that's me. I would like a person that's positive around me. I don't want negative people around me. I don't like that. So unfortunately, you got family members, they just negative. Oh, that ain't going to work. You go, man, I'm going to start this business and it's going to, oh, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. And they go look up people on the internet that failed at it, right? This person failed at that. So what? Like, so what? I'll take what y'all see where they went wrong at, and I'll try to make it work. You ain't gonna do it. You can't do that. Don't do that. Just go to work there for 30 years, get your watch, retire, and come sit in this chair. Well, brother, we gotta come to a part where we, like we always do, where we trying to find solutions for these young men on how to deal with the fact that they have to constantly. I'm going to say this before we get into finding solutions. I'm going to say you're going to have to constantly evaluate a person. You constantly have to evaluate. Always be evaluating. In sales, they say always be closing. ABC, always be closing. But I'm going to say always be evaluating. In relationships, always be evaluating. And don't take it personally. Like, I can't take it personally. You in a relationship with me and you meet somebody in the grocery store and you just hit it off with them. Obviously, you didn't have it. It wasn't as locked down for me like it should have been, right? I'm cool with that. I'd rather have somebody say, okay, well, hey, I'm not, this ain't happening for me. You know, go ahead and go do what go ahead and do what you got to do. I need to leave because I'd rather know you ain't on my team than to be out here running around and thinking you on my team. Brother Jarvis? I think we lost.
Sir. Okay.
Oh, okay. We got Brother Jarvis. Okay. Okay. So anyway, getting back to what I was talking about finding solutions. We about solutions here. We about the solution of evaluating a woman and putting her in her proper place in your life, if she has a place in your life at all. How do we do that? I'm going to put together a manual or a guide to be able to do this. It's just a guide. I'm not saying it's written in stone, but it's a guide to help you understand what to do and how to properly evaluate and section and categorize, and then insert or not insert a woman into your life. But today, we're trying to find a solution to evaluating women quickly, as quick as we can. Brother Jarvis gave us, he said, check the spirit. So I'm asking Brother Jarvis again, what are some things we could do? What are some things I could say? Or what are some things I could do to test this girl's spirit and see, and dig a little deeper to find a real person? Because obviously when you first get with a woman, she's going to be, you're going to meet her representative. You're not going to meet the real her. It's going to take some time to meet the real her, and she start getting a little more relaxed around you and stuff, and start actually the little facade starts coming down, and you see the real her. So what things can you do to get to seeing that spirit, brother?
Well, if you want to really get to a woman's spirit, or anybody's really, what's for a woman's spirit, ask her about God. See how she feels towards God.
Wait, what?
That'll open up a whole lot.
Wait, what?
Ask her about God.
What?
Ask her about God. Either it's going to close down everything, or it's going to open up something.
Now you talking crazy, man. Now you talking
crazy. Well, you want to know. I mean, you want to know. Do you really do you like this girl or not? You want to know about this girl's spirit. Well, ask her about God.
Now you talking crazy. You going to ruin the whole thing, brother. She going to just get up and walk away.
Well, you said you wanted to know. Do you want to know or not? Because you might not want to know.
I do want to know. You
think you want to know.
That's actually a pretty good idea. That's actually a damn good idea. Yeah. That'll save you a bunch of time right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's going to tell you if she a holy roller. It's going to tell you if she a believer. It's going to tell you, how far she going to go. Ask her about God. That'll tell you a whole lot of stuff. You want to know.
That's actually a good idea.
And you got to be like hate to say it, be like a pimp and ease your way into it. You ain't got to be a holy roller, because holy roller scares some people.
Okay, ease me into it.
Yeah. What you mean, an example?
Yeah, give me an example.
Yeah. How was your day yesterday? Oh man, I was tired, but you know what? With God's help, phew, I made it though. Something like that. Something real easy. Then God will come up a little bit more and more. Make it easy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just one example for them, so they can understand.
You really want to know this woman, but you really don't want to know. But you really want to know her? Ask her about God.
Okay. Hey, that's actually a great idea, but okay. So you say ask her about God. Like ask her about God. Like what? Like, do you know Romans chapter 15?
That's a holy roller. That's a holy roller. You can be that too. Now,
well, then
you don't want that.
How do you ask her about God?
Just like I just said.
How do you subtly? No.
Throw God in there.
That's you threw God in there for you. That ain't gonna open her up. It may not open her up. How do you throw God in there and put her in a position where she has to respond with some type of reflection on God?
She don't have to respond. Eventually, she's going to come around. So you're not going to get everything in one shot. That's not how this goes. Pimps, you don't get her to give you the money on one shot. I told you to come at her like a pimp. It's just going to take some time.
I'm not telling you I'm not saying that it's not going to take time, brother. I'm just saying what's something that you could say when the time is right. You telling me to say, with God's help. And so I'm saying that a lot of women ain't going to even address that.
She will.
I'm saying
eventually. She will.
She will what?
She will.
Don't say.
She's gonna open up something about God. And if she don't, that might be telling you something too right there.
That's what I'm saying.
She don't.
That's what I'm saying. So you saying, okay, so because I don't want them to misunderstand what we're saying, because I want it to be real clear. Like we ain't talking about no silver bullet. Like, hey, this is a silver bullet. You do this every time with every. No, it's a process that you can use, but it ain't gonna work the same way with every woman. Some women might take a longer time, right? Like you said, some women you might address the God thing subtly. They may not say nothing because they scared of, they don't want to argue with you. But when they get more confidence in talking to you, maybe they'll start addressing it, right? Well, okay. So, same thing. Some people have been so hurt, and that's what you need to look for at the beginning, but I'll get back to that. But some people have been so hurt that they feel like they have to hide everything. They have to hide their feelings. They have to hide. And so everything is, they're constantly diverting any conversation that might get to the root of what is going on with them. They're constantly diverting that conversation. So what I'm saying is, we don't want to be in a situation where well, first of all, you should look for wounded animals. You should look for wounded people, because when they wounded, the walking wounded are, they can pull you down as well. So you're going to have to ask some questions. Now, I'm going to say this about women. The average woman is not going to tell you, I've been raped, I was sexually molested, I was sexually assaulted, this and this. They're not going to. The statistics say 75% of women have had some type of sexual misconduct happen to them, right? I get it. I've been guilty. I've been guilty of it myself, so I get it. Before I was cleared of all the demons that was on me, I was guilty of it. But so 75% of women out here, 75%. That's 3 out of 4 women have been, and that fourth one has heard about it, right? So they have some type of sexual misconduct happen, where something happened where it was inappropriate, right? So I'm saying some of them have been scarred. Some of them have been able to mentally overlook it and move on with their lives, but some people haven't. And some people are scarred, and some people are scarred from just breakups and losing a loved one or whatever. They have emotional scars, right? And so you need to see that up front and know that, hey, you know what? A person that is scarred like that may not be for you. If you don't have a psychology degree, maybe that person ain't for you. Okay. Now, we said you could ask about God. You could ask about God and to try to find out where her spirit is as far as that goes. Then, I'm sorry, Brother Jeff. This is your opportunity to give some more advice about what you think should be happening, because you said the pimp thing and everything, dropping it like a pimp, not being a pimp, but just dropping things like a pimp, subtly putting
since she gonna evaluate you from the inside out. Like I said, but this is not the normal for men. We go outside in. It takes a while before we get to that. After a while, you start to talk to her.
Yeah, but see,
Since you want to evaluate her from the beginning, which is very dangerous because you may just misinterpret everything. You know,
how you
there's a
gonna
reason why we go from outside in. You know, she could really be a good person had you gave her time and had you let the relationship develop. It could have been a good thing in the end, maybe. You know, so like I said,
that's true.
that's why there's a reason why you go outside in, she go inside out. Good if y'all meet in the middle, all things being, you know, equal. But the thing is, to me, the biggest problem is not that. It's not us misevaluating women.
Okay, what's the biggest
and
problem?
It may be that, but the biggest problem is her wanting to be the man and the woman. You
well,
know,
she only does that to she only does that to certain people, though, brother. She don't do it to everybody. It's only a certain type of man that she going to get with that she feels like I can dominate this man. I'll be with him because I'll make him give me what I want. There's a certain type of man. You think she out there trying to dominate Killer Red?
No, but he's not even.
But Killer Red is.
He's not even marriage material.
But I'm saying even if he was, she's not trying to dominate a cat like that. She's like, hey, he's like, hey, either we doing it on my schedule or we not.
Yeah.
Keep your spine in your back. Okay, I'll be there in a little while. I'm gonna send a Uber to pick you up. Hey, well, you know what? I got Bam Bam and Pookie with me, so you gotta have to drop them off at home. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Right? Yeah. She only gonna try to drive a certain type of cat like that. You know what I mean? Usually a dude that's under the age of 40. Because once we get to 40, brother, that's when we've been through some stuff. We already know.
Oh, yeah.
We ain't going to let you just come up in here and wreck this situation that I got going on. Yeah. However big or little I got it, I'm not going to let you just come in here and just push everybody around. So they usually push cats around like the dudes we talking about now, the dudes we making this video for. These youngsters, man, that don't know no better. That's trying to do the right thing. Young cat went to the military. Young cat, try to, get a job and try to take care of these, his responsibilities.
Yeah, he's trying to be a family man.
Yeah, man, trying to do it, right? And so thinking, man, I don't, my mother and father never got along, so I'm going to be the dude that get along with her by telling her what she want to hear. Not realizing the worst mistake you can make if you want to be with somebody is to tell them what they want to hear all the time.
Yeah.
Because eventually what they want to hear and what the reality of what's going on ain't going to be the same.
All right. Two different things.
Yeah. And then once you do that, they going to feel like they can't respect you or you're not the person they can go to if they want the truth.
Right.
And that's going to be a problem.
Right.
And women don't know, man, it's hard for women to forget stuff, man. It's hard, man. It's hard.
They can't forget.
Man, it's hard on them, man. And so they just, they will just keep bringing it up every time the opportunity presents itself, making things just worse.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to find a quicker way to evaluate them because, see, the problem is, here's the problem, Brother Jarvis. While they have evaluated you lickety split on the spot, I'm looking at this dude's shoes, I'm looking at this dude's car. He ain't got the kind of cash I need. I'm looking at this, and they may, like you said, they may make a mistake and say, damn, I did that. And this dude was just cutting the grass on his own property. He come over here in some overalls. He come over here in some overalls like Brother Petway. Some old shoes that I'm thinking this man ain't got no money. And he got a knot in his pocket. A knot. Right? And I didn't even know. You didn't know? That brother had a knot. You didn't know that? That brother, he got money. He owned this property. He ain't over here working for somebody. He cutting his own property. He cutting the grass on his own property. Oh. Excuse me. Remember you said you want to take me out? They go chasing you down. But the problem is, here's the problem. they have evaluated you, and they've said to you, okay, Brother Clarence, Brother Jarvis, they want to take me to eat at Skizzler's. Okay, I want to go to Ruth Chris, but when I want to go eat some steak or eat some chicken or whatever, I'm gonna go with Brother Jarvis. I go with Brother Jarvis and Brother Clarence. I let them take me to Skizzler's, get me a steak or a chicken plate, right? I'll do that. Okay, so meanwhile, while we doing this evaluating type of thing, we trying to do this and trying to figure out what's happening. They've already put us on the shelf. We still trying to evaluate her. Maybe she's a good person, but they've already put us on the shelf. What I'm saying is, because of the overwhelming amount of available women to men, we don't have to wait that long no more. You understand what I'm saying? Brother?
I hear you.
Okay. All right. So I'm saying we don't have to wait that long anymore. We can super speed evaluate them too, because it's in California is 16 available women to one available man. 16. Now, if you break that down by race, oh my God, it'll probably explode when it gets to the black community. It'll explode. Why is this? Because women are trying to do two things at one time. They're trying to be a modern woman, but they want a man who has traditional values. Or they want to put it like this: they want to be a modern woman up until around 30, 35. At 30 or 35, that's when they realize, whoops, I'm about to miss the dance. I got to get, but it's hard to get them to change their spots at that point, right? Because they figured out, hey, dudes are smashing, but dudes ain't really trying to take it to the next level, and they can't figure out why. Maybe you got a masculine frame. You operate out of a masculine frame. You don't have that. You have a lot of a lot of dings on your sexual market value. Long-term relationship value is not that good. They don't understand why, and the factors in the middle, right? We talked about a couple of factors in the beginning, but they don't understand. By the time it takes them so much long to put that together, they're already out the game, or so far down the line, options that they got now are way less. How do we put these brothers, these young brothers, and I'm talking about brothers 40 and below, 18 to 40. How do we get them brothers to look at the situation and say, okay, I got to evaluate this woman. She's either on my list or not on my list. And then from there to go.
She choose you. I mean, hit on her. If she go for it, she like you. I mean, there is no one answer. I can't give you. There is. I can't. I'm trying to, like I said, go by her spirit. There is no. I'm gonna evaluate her. It's gonna take time. That's the best way I can say. Is courting or dating. It's gonna take time. You can't evaluate her in a one scene. You can't do it.
No, I'm not.
You can't even evaluate her if she is a good woman. You can't evaluate her if she's a good wife for me. It's going to take time.
No, what I'm saying.
Are you looking for a wife? Are you looking for somebody to sleep with? What are you evaluating? What are you looking for?
You're evaluating all of that. But what
if you're looking for a wife, then you're going to have to court her.
But you got to.
And there's a certain way to court her.
But you going step by step. See, there's a first thing. There's a first thing you need. First thing you need to see if she's you can have a decent conversation with her. You getting along, you gelling with her, you got the chemistry, like they say. You need to see that first. I mean, besides her physical appearance, yeah, that's what stopped you in the beginning. But I'm saying you got to see if you got like some type of chemistry, and that takes time sometimes to build. But but there's certain things I feel like you should look for. I feel like, hey, you should be looking right away for red flags, and don't ignore red flags. Like for me, one red flag is smoking. I am not. I could not deal with somebody who smokes. I've seen too many people lose their lives over smoking, so I never was one that really was interested in dating someone that smoked, because I knew there was. Once a girl pulls a cigarette out, I already knew, okay, well, I'm here now, but this will probably be the last time I'm here, or whatever. Or
I agree.
Yeah, but that's me. That's my personal thing. But what I'm saying is,
deal breaker.
Yeah, right.
Deal breaker.
But that's what you should be looking for up front, in my opinion. Because if you don't look for that stuff, and then later on you get caught up, see, because a woman a lot of times will try to hide. She will. That's why the Romans called them actresses. They will hide the issue that they got, because they don't want you to make a reasonable decision on your future. They don't want you to be able to make that reasonable decision, so they will hide stuff that's going on in the background. So once it actually comes up to the front, then they hope that you will be so enamored with her physical appearance that you are going to just let it not have a bearing on your decision making. It's going to off throw your decision making, where you'll say, I don't care that you have all these red flags. I'm still going to go out on the field with you. And I'm saying that the first thing you got to do is look for, make sure that you can get along with the girl. And then second thing, you got to be looking for red flags. Once you get past those two things, now I'm saying, okay, yeah, you can give it time now. But it's some girl, you got to get rid of those red flags, man. Hey, a girl say, hey, I'm separated. That's another one. I'm separated. What do you mean you separated? You either married or you divorced. No. I'm separated. Then you married, right? You still got a husband, right? Okay, well then I can't be messing with no married woman.
Separated, do he know that?
Yeah, but
separated. Do he know that?
Whether he knows it or not, I know it, and I'm out of there, because I don't want to be. There ain't gonna be no winner in that game. Even if you take her and she divorced this dude, now she with you. But how did she get with you? Stepping out on him. Then she gonna not step out on you? So I'm saying, what happened when she get tired of you? She gonna tell the next dude she's separated. I'm separated. Yeah. So I'm saying these are red flags you got to look for up front so you can sell. You know what I mean? I'm glad we did this. I'm going to include red flags that you should be looking for, so that we can have a proper understanding of how to be able to evaluate women. Because like I say, I feel like women are able to evaluate us as men. What kind of work are you in? What line of work are you in? How long you been doing that? They're able to ask you all kind of stuff about that, right? They can go as far as, only thing they'll ask is, can I see your tax returns, right? And in some cases, they may do that, right? But they're able to say really quickly, oh, okay, this dude is not somebody who I should have on the front burner. He should be on the back burner at most. Or he should be on the shelf, where he ain't never going to get off the shelf. He's just somebody I call when I got problems. Ray, Killer Red came over here, and I know I had $50 in my purse. I know I did. And, I don't have that $50 no more. You think you can lend me $50? Hey, you got to lend this girl $50 because she let Killer Red come over her house, pull her spine out of her head, and then now she looking at you to be the person to rectify that situation. And you do it once or twice, and then you look at yourself and say, man, I'm being a good guy. She gonna see me as a good dude. Yes, she see you as a good dude, but you ain't never. Good dudes don't get, vagina as much as Killer Red and them do. That's just the science of that. So, but anyway, I say find those red flags. First of all, see if you can, if she has a humble spirit and you're able to talk to her and she compliments your spirit. If she compliments your spirit and she's good there, then I agree with Brother Jarvis. You see how she treats other people around her. If she got a bad relationship with her whole family, that is a red flag. Those are red flags. Next thing you want to look for the red flags. She's taking psych meds. She's seeing a counselor. She's seeing a therapist. You don't want to get involved with somebody that's not well, because you're going to have to deal with the fact that they're not well. Well, that's what I got to say about that, Brother Jarvis. You got any parting words on this situation?
No, sir, brother. Like I said, that about sums it up. My thing is, anytime this, she can sum you up, but she's kind of made that way. And most times, if you ask me, a woman sums you up wrong, and we can wind up doing the same thing. It's going to take time to sum a woman up or to evaluate who she really is. That takes time. You need time, because who she is, it'll come out in time. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
But a woman, she wants to talk. It ain't hard to get her to talk. She wants to talk.
Yeah. I'm not saying that she don't want to talk and she ain't gonna want to talk. I'm just saying you should be able to at least see if you should at least be able to evaluate if you should move to the next step. In other words, to try to try to invest that time into this woman. Should I invest this time into this woman? Right? Well, first you got to make sure she don't have none of these red flags, and then you got to make sure that you get along with her. You can talk to her in a sensible manner. She can respond to you in a sensible manner, right?
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying you got to bam, just evaluate her all right there. Although I would. I'm not telling everybody that they should do that. I would. I don't have no problem saying goodbye to some vagina I never had anyway. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with saying sayonara. I have no problem. Right?
Well, you're talking, but you're also talking as an older man who has
right.
You've lived a little bit, so it's like, I already know where this is going because you've done it already.
Right. So I'm saying for the younger dudes, they might feel like, hey, I'm willing to invest this time into this person.
No, you're not. Right. No, you're not.
But they may say, hey, I'm willing to.
No. They're gonna say it because I said it.
Yeah, I did
she
too.
got bad attitude. I don't care. I don't care if she got bad attitude. Can I get her pants off? That's all I cared about.
I did too.
Can I get her pants off?
I did too. Spent many hours with women that I had no business with.
None. Me either. Me too. I knew this girl didn't like me. If I could just get her slipping. No.
Yeah, right.
So don't even think like that. Right. If you feel like you got to get her slipping, no. Pass.
Right.
Next. Or pass. It don't matter. Whichever one you want to say. Pass or next. No.
Yeah.
But see, that came after I became an old man. It's like, wait a minute, I did that already. I already know what not. That don't work. That don't work.
Right.
Or like I said, me, myself, I hate the wear down method. I'm going to wear her down.
Right.
No, I'm not.
Right.
I don't want to wear nobody down.
Right.
No.
Right.
Or you can be the overconfident guy where you just, merely, like the devil told God, I didn't make him do it. I merely suggested.
Just made a suggestion. How you going to get mad at me? How you going to get mad at me? I just made a suggestion. He's the one that actually did it.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Right. You could do like the devil. That's what he told God. I didn't make them do it.
Yeah, why you throwing me
I
in the lake of
merely
fire?
suggested.
I just made a
Right.
suggestion.
Right.
He's
Right.
the one that
So you
should
could
be
do
in
like,
the lake of fire.
you could be that guy, now they exist too. Like I said, he say, oh yeah, I know guys, they let a woman know, oh yeah, you want me. Oh yeah, you know you want to sleep with me. You want to take your pants off. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Yes, I do. That's what I thought.
Yeah. But that's a dangerous game to play, brother, in today's world. In my opinion.
Today, yeah.
In today's world, it's too many available women to play that game, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If somebody tell you no, let her learn from that, and it'll be another one around the corner. Like my father used to say, they like buses. It's another one around the corner. Don't even, don't. If somebody tell you no, because let me throw a disclaimer out there, Brother Jarvis. We don't have nothing against nobody of no particular race, of no particular religious background, gender.
Right.
We don't have nothing against nobody. We just telling the truth. We're just telling the truth. So we don't want to have nobody say, oh, well, these guys are against this or that. We're not against anything. We just tell the truth. If your skin happens to be the color of the person that did it, whether it's black, white, red, yellow, or green, we just telling the truth. If you happen to be the person with a vagina that did it, we just telling the truth. So we're not out here to try to bash anybody. We're actually trying to find solutions so that men can have more better relationships and we can build more families out here. That's ultimately the goal of this situation here. What we're trying to do here is help men find women of substance and know how to find them and build better families with it, especially in the black community. So we're not bashing anybody, but we do have to tell the truth when we see it.
Right.
And so, like you said, you're right, brother. This situation is very tumultuous, and if you make the wrong move in today's world, man, you could really put yourself in a bind.
Right.
And it could be all behind a misunderstanding. Like you said, you're just being persistent. Right? I know because I remember when we was coming up, I know you want to do this. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Just a little bit. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That old saying, just a tip, right? So, you know what I mean? I mean, so, but in today's world, brother, it's a death wish, man. To impose your program, to use your masculinity to enhance your sexual endeavors. That's a problem today.
Yes,
that's a problem. So you got to do a lot more. In other words, you got to do a lot more work to set the situation up like that than we did back in the day. So that's what we saying to you. You're gonna have to do it.
So it's not to catch a case.
There you go. Because it doesn't matter whether you actually raped the woman or not. All that matters is she can accuse you of it. Bill Cosby is sitting in jail behind no evidence, no physical evidence, nothing. He's sitting in jail based on women saying that he raped him.
Right.
That's it.
15 years ago.
30 years ago, some of them.
Yeah.
30 years ago. Imagine sitting in, man, Brother Jarvis, if they got me for some stuff I did 30 years ago, brother, I'd be under the jail.
Man.
I'd be under the jail.
Man.
I mean, I was a mess. I was a raving lunatic, brother.
Man, just you.
If God had not reached down and touched me on the forehead, brother, I'd be under the jail.
You and me both.
So I'm saying that to say that's where we was at that point. Now you in a whole different ball game now. Now you can't even I mean, back in the day, you could joke about something sexual, and
Right.
the most of what happened was somebody would say, "Hey, man, don't say that. You know, that makes Clarice kind of upset. You know, don't. You
Right.
know that she don't like stuff like that, man. Don't do that. Come on, man. You know, let's
Right.
show her
Right.
some respect, right?" I was working
Right.
with a lady, man, that, Guadalupe, man. She was a very religious lady, man. Very religious lady, and she was working with us, man. And the dudes used to be cussing, and I always used to see her frown up, man, whenever. And so I was like, man. So I asked another employee that knew her a little better, "Hey, what's up with her? Why she always like that?" Man, you know, she's real religious, man. She don't really like all that stuff. But she never reported nobody. She was, you know, she was like, I know I'm in an all male environment. Okay, so this is what it is. So
Right.
I chose to be here like that. She was just like, hey, but you know, after a while, I was like, hey, man, don't do that in front of Lupe, man. She just,
Right.
you know, she ain't that, you know, she don't get out like that.
Right.
You know? And finally, the culture kind of, and then they kept having these memos, man. You know, where I work at, when people mess up, here come a memo. I ain't gonna say who did this, but somebody did something stupid. Don't do this no more out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A memo come out, and so we had to have a meeting and had to go through the memo, right? Don't do this no more.
Right.
The EEO policy here is this and that, and sexual harassment policy is XYZ. So don't do this no more.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, I'm saying that to say that, you know, it's just not the same. It's not the same.
Right.
So youngsters out there, you know, make sure that you, if you're going to talk to someone, the best time to talk to them is after 5 o'clock when you off of work, off the property, not on the phone, face to face. That way you can, you know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, if you think somebody is dastardly enough to record you,
although that's illegal,
yeah, but you know,
it just might hold up in court.
Man, dude, you never know, man. All the woman got to do, like you said before, all she got to do is start crying.
Yeah. Oh God.
What? She crying? 300 years for you, young man.
I've been a victim of that.
Yeah. Right. I know a cat, man. I mean, I know a cat. I ain't gonna say his name. I know a cat, man. Went to child support court. His wife was in jail for the third time.
Yeah.
They still gave her them kids, plus $400 a month.
Yeah.
For 2 kids.
She's in jail.
She
I
was.
take care.
That's why she
take
wasn't.
care of my kids. Yeah.
That's why she wasn't in the courtroom, because she was in jail.
I'm telling you, she in jail, and you still award that?
I'm showing you the paperwork. I got the paperwork. She in jail.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm showing you.
So I'm just saying, man. Anyway, that's all we got for this subject. We'll have more information on it, and I'm going to put together a tutorial, a guide in written form that you can kind of go through and see for yourself what to avoid, how to stay out of, you know, try to, you know, and I'm not saying it's going to guarantee you won't get in trouble. We ain't saying that, but I'm just saying, you know, it's a better way to go about doing things. You still have to be smart. You still got to use your common sense and know when to say something and not to say something. I remember I was telling you guys a couple weeks ago, I was in an argument with an English teacher of mine. And the English teacher was saying, yes, I make my husband, he cleans the house, he does all of this stuff. And the other girls in the class were like, yes, that's right, go ahead. And I'm arguing with her. I'm saying, hey, you know, that don't sound too good for him. You know, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, man, is this dude still having sex with her? Why would she do something like that? And what's going on? Maybe And I'm thinking in my head, maybe she having sex with somebody else. She, saying just like to dominate this cat or whatever. I don't know. And so I started to ask the question in a room full of women, about 40 students, are you still having sex with this dude? But I had to think, with that, what kind of situation would that have created if I would have asked that question in that room?
Good question.
Right? What kind of situation would that have done? Would they have been able to say, "Oh, he made it so that we can't go to work now because he asked that question in a room full of women. Our feelings was hurt and we couldn't. I'm unable to work. I'm serious, man. They could do it, and the school district will just give them money just to make them go away.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying, because they're not gonna sue me personally, right? They'll sue the school district. You allowing this kind of stuff to go on in the school, right? So anyway, so my point is with that situation is I had to think like, hey man, where would I end up if I said something like that? I probably would have ended up in the dean's office somewhere. Right. Them telling me we're gonna drop you from this class because of what you said.
Right.
And so that's why I said you gotta use your common sense. And what they used to tell us in the dojo, brother, protect yourself at all times.
Yes, sir.
Protect yourself at all times. You can't,
yes, sir.
You can't be out here freestyling and stuff. You got to protect yourself at all times.
Yes, sir.
And understand this. It's not fair, but a woman can. Only thing that matters is the way the woman saw it. If the way the woman saw it, that's what matters.
Right.
And the way, if the woman saw it in a way where it's offensive or they felt threatened by it, you gone, buddy.
Right.
You gone. You're gonna have to dig in your pocket to defend yourself off of something that you feel like, man, that was a nothing. I didn't even. It's dudes sitting in jail right now over the weekend because they said or did something that they felt was little.
Right.
And now in today's world, it's not. Anyway, that's our time, y'all. If y'all have any questions, y'all can hit us up. Go to our page and, email us a question if you have a question, and we'll try to answer it. Try to give y'all solutions to try to make sure your life will be better. Hopefully this work is something that y'all appreciate. And, but we're going to keep on moving, even if y'all don't. We're going to keep it moving, because, we feel like God wants us to do this work. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Brother Jarvis, anything important?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
All right, then. We'll see y'all again next time. Peace. Oh, yeah. Never be the aggressor. Never be the aggressor.